Hi, good evening, everyone. We are here tonight again on Real Talk, here to discuss tonight Wind Beneath My Wings. We will be talking about the importance of having a great support system, one that is uplifting and one that can keep us on track to make sure that we fulfill our purpose in life. And tonight we have a special guest who have not been on before. So I would let her introduce herself first, and then we would once again introduce our other two guests who have been here before.
So I guess that would
Sandra,
be me, huh?
Chani, yes, take it away.
Yes. Well, thank you, Beverly. It's an honor to really be here. I am Sandra Cheney. I am a Les Brown certified motivational speaker and certified empowerment coach and a best-selling author. And it is my goal and my mission to help women heal their minds and their souls so that they can live their best in life and in their business.
Hmm. Great, awesome. It's nice to say I'm a certified motivational speaker.
Yes,
I
it
think
is.
that like today, yes, like today it just resonated with me, although I got my certificate like a week ago. And I was like, I'm a certified motivational speaker. Yes. And we
Yes.
have Portia Manse here with us again tonight. Portia,
Yes,
what do
we
you want to say
do.
tonight?
What do I want to say? Well, I am Portia Mensah, and I'm happy to be back here.
Portia, how was your day?
My day was great. It was packed, but it
Portia?
was great otherwise.
Okay. Awesome to hear that. And we have the king beneath the queen, amid, sorry. Oh, maybe just because his picture is below me, I'm talking about beneath, amid the queens. Joseph, it's so great to have you here with us tonight. How's
Hi,
it?
good evening, everyone. Good to be back. I'm grateful and unstoppable. How are you, ladies?
You're doing
Awesome.
well.
Oh, we're fine. We're great also. We're fab. Today I put up Joseph's picture on
It's a beautiful picture.
I
Yes.
didn't actually thought that you're gonna be posting
on
it, but then you said
the
it.
Power Voice. What's that?
Mhm.
I said that I didn't thought that you will
Joseph, I didn't
actually
hear.
post it, but you did said it that you will. So there we go.
Yes, I did tell you I was going to post it, right? And I
Yeah,
did post it. I think it was a goofy, awesome picture. Yes.
Mhm.
yeah. It was in my
And
pink glasses.
as you
Do you
could
want to
see,
see
it
them?
had the little logo, Unstoppable.
Yes. I love the
It was.
picture,
It was
Joseph.
in those glasses.
Yeah.
It just says that you don't have to take
Yes,
yourself too serious. You know.
Yes.
Yes, you certainly
pink
don't
suits
have
you.
to.
Pink, pink suits you well. So tonight, as I said before, our topic is wind beneath my wings. You know, the reason why this Real Talk forum got off was because of having an awesome group of people in my space that was able to say, yes, you can. I have had this on the back burner for the longest while. Really, I went today, I was going through my proposals because I have a lot of proposals there. And I was reading it and I said, I had this day and I never thought at this moment it would be a reality. But because I made one step of one leap of faith, and that is to do the Les Brown Scots, I was able to be introduced to a wonderful group of people, the Power Voice people. And each person that you're seeing here right now on this forum is from the Power Voice group. I'm telling you, it's a wonderful, wonderful group of people. You really feel as family, as if you know each other a long time. And through that, I signed up for mentor-mentee program as a mentee. And in talking with my mentor, she encouraged me to get on board with this program, and I did. And that is the awesomeness of having an awesome support system. Any one of you, Sandra, you are an author, okay?
Yes.
Yes. You want to just share with us the persons who were able to say to you, yes, you can, and be inspirational in helping you to write that book, and tell us what the book is all about?
So the inspiration really was my grandmother, who just
Mm-hmm.
told me that I can. You know, she actually believed in me, and although she definitely wasn't around when I wrote the book and the book came out, but when I was led to write it, I was thinking about her, and that she would want me to be the very best that I can and share my authentic truth. And so I'm an author. I have 3 of my own books, and then I'm a co-author in 7 other books. So I've been writing for a while. But my first book is called Give It to Her, A Gift of Healing and
Okay.
Restoration. And it's just about me healing from domestic violence. It's about me healing
All
from
right.
homelessness and that kind of stuff. So I wrote it because I knew that I wasn't the only woman who's gone through that. And the fact that my grandmother was a strong
Mm-hmm.
woman and she saw what was going on and she did her best to try to shield me when she could. And so, yeah, that's why I
Mm-hmm.
wrote the book, so I can help somebody else. Because it really, my story isn't just for me, it's for other people. So she has been the wind beneath my wings. Even though she isn't here, I carry her with me.
Yes, I am losing signal if you see me pausing, because I did not hear the last of what you said. Sorry about that.
Okay, no problem.
Portia, I know that at this point in time, when you look back, you can definitely say, I am so much further than I used to be. Now, let me give a little joke with Portia and I today, right? Selling out our business.
Thank you, Beverly.
So I recognize. So as
Thank
I
you for
said,
throwing me under the bus.
the electricity, the electricity got cut off. And so I was calling Joseph, and Joseph was in a meeting. I say, you know what? Portia can do this. Let me call Portia. Um, I called Portia. Portia
Why are
was
you
like,
laughing, Joseph?
girl, she was almost like, you really don't want me back on this program.
Beverly!
All sweaty palms.
But you know what I said as well was,
Oh, God.
wait,
I
15
was
minutes before we're gonna start, the electricity will come on. So he made it done.
like,
So
I,
here we
I
are.
I
yeah.
told her the same thing too.
She was praying so hard. Listen, she was praying so hard. So, Portia, talk to us. I know when you look back, you say, oh, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm sure not where I used to be. So tell
That's
us,
definite. That's definitely true.
who
I'm going to
are
start
some of
with
the
last
persons
week.
that, Mhm.
Last week was horrific in the beginning. And I say that because we were having some technical difficulties. We had to start things all over again. And then somehow restarting it on my end was awful. So when Beverly asked me to moderate it this week, I'm like, oh no, girl, I am not going to do this. I am not coming back a second time. But we all need support systems. I've never seen a human being who doesn't. If you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go further, you go together. Human beings crave our social systems. We all need each other. We all actually feed off each other. And just like Beverly was saying earlier, she was actually encouraged to start this real talk. These are some of the things we actually depend on our support systems to help us with. I always say 2 heads are better than one. Sometimes 3, 4,
True.
5. You may be going through something, and thinking about it alone may seem impossible. However, when you butt heads with someone or when you talk to someone about it, they may look at things from a different point of view than you will, and then help you come to other conclusions that you may not have even thought of. So
True.
these are some of the reasons why we all need each other to encourage us, to be there for us, to be there with us.
Yes. I just today, I'm looking at how in such a short space of time, I had accomplished so much that I have been trying to accomplish over many years. And it's just because I was introduced to a wonderful group of people who is able to help me in every step of the way. There's always somebody there. So say something that is able to be uplifting, is able to say, I started writing my book. I had said next year I will start writing. First thing I said, I will start writing the book as soon as I finish Les Brown's course. And I am a certified motivational speaker. And then I said, you know what? Next year I'll start writing the book. The year is almost done. And Christine says, what are you waiting for? Start writing your book. And because I was in this course, I was able to get so many different pointers, because it's not that I haven't started to write before, but I was able to get pointers as to one great thing that I never thought about. And that is to have your chapters, the name of your chapters before you start writing, so that everything could just flow. And if it wasn't for, again, a great support system where there are persons in my space who are so much more qualified, yet so willing to help. If it wasn't for that, I would not be here tonight, even on this program. And Joseph, I know you could talk about that. You have stories on that.
Yeah, I was just taking notes from every single one of you that you spoke. We certainly do need support system. I'm a living example of, I call it a power of one. You can do it on your own, but I'll tell you, whoever is watching, whoever is listening, it takes a lot of years to go through mud, to go through snow, to go through gravel, and it's really, really hard. On the other hand, it's way easier to ask for help. These days, internet can reach anywhere in the world. We are a living example. Beverly, you are in Trinidad and Tobago. Am I right?
Yes.
I'm in Slovakia in Europe. That's and hours and hours of flight, but we can connect in a fraction of a second. So in the internet, you can find any support group. If you don't have it right now, start somewhere. Start with like-minded people. Start looking for people that want to accomplish, or they have already accomplished what you're trying to start even. As Beverly said just a couple of seconds ago, that she got pushed a little bit from Christine. Don't wait. All we have is now. All we have is today. Tomorrow is not promised for anybody. And especially in these times when we have this situation all over the world where we have to be locked down at home, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. One of the greatest quotes and words that I heard from Mr. Brown over the last week or two is, are you willing to die with ideas in your head? Are you willing to meet yourself on the other side and see the ideas looking at you? Why haven't you done anything about us? We could have served the world. As you girls mentioned before, ladies, I'm sorry, you mentioned before, I believe as well, and I have that in my head for years, once you go through your story, that you live in, that you have lived it and you overcome it, we have spiritual responsibility to share it with the world, because it will help others. It will save lives. Just imagine Mr. Brown, because he's doing what he's doing, have influenced 3.2 billion people in his lifetime. That's a half of this planet. I believe most of us in his Power Voice system wouldn't even be here if it wouldn't be of his voice. That was my system for the last 6 years. I can honestly say that I have heard every single speech that I could have found on the internet from him. When I get notification that he's live, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, it's on. Why? Because I have to feed my mind with where I want to go and what I want to do. And I do believe that supporting others, same as I got support in my life, is what I'm here to do. Anything is possible. Just reach out. Now Beverly is doing something that most people can't even imagine doing it. Why? Because she reached out, because she asked for help. It's that simple. You might not get the help in a first attempt, but try it again, try it again, try it again, try it again. You will get it eventually.
Yes.
I want to say something to that, Beverly, before Joseph, you really struck something in me, because I was that girl who was the lone soldier, because being different in school, people have like these high school friends. I don't have that, because I was different. And so not knowing what friendship was like, not knowing how to reach out for help and all those things, I was just, learned to do things on my own. But it came a point in my life when I really did need some help. And what I had to learn was, you need to reach out. People are there if you open your mouth and you just ask for help. And it took me a while to get that, because of fear of not knowing who would be there to help me. And at the end of the day, it really didn't matter, because I believe that God has everything already aligned for you. It's just waiting on you to open your mouth and say you need help. Case in point, my first book that came out, I almost didn't write it because of fear of what other people would say. Who wants to read my book? Nobody wants to read my book. It took me 15 years to write it. Well, when I said, God, I don't have the money. And God said, just write it and talk about it. And when I did, someone sowed a seed to cover my entire publishing for my book. Had I not said anything, had I not opened my mouth, it would have never, ever happened. And then when the book was published, a mentor of mine had a friend who bought it for her daughter who was in a domestic violence situation. Well, she took the book with her on vacation. She read my book. She came home and she left her husband, who was actually plotting to kill her. Had I not written that book, had I not asked for help, I'm not saying that she would have died. I don't know that. All I know is I wrote that book and she read my book.
And it helped
so many other people read it, and it helped them tremendously, all because I opened my mouth and I said I need help. And I just told a bunch of people, and one person came forth and said, I will help you. So yes, so I've had to learn to ask for that. And being in Les Brown in a TR group, it's like the help that I'm receiving and the relationships I'm making, It is amazing. So yeah,
Yes,
we're
it
not an
is.
island by ourselves. We do need to have other people to support us, and we support each
Yes,
other. So yeah. So thank you
yes.
for that, Joe. So that that
I
was good.
absolutely feel you, Sandra. I was a lone soldier for many years because I've done support system for my family, for friends, for businesses I had, and there was nobody
Mm,
for me. It was. I just didn't reach out. I reshared one quote today or yesterday. I don't remember when was it. Is most people wait for God to give them a sign. In fact, God is waiting for them to take some action.
hmm,
You said, Sandra, everything there is aligned. Everything we want is here already. We just have to take the step. I
hmm.
believe Dr. Martin Luther King said it. Take the first step. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Steps will unfold.
Hmm.
And asking for help is a strength and not a weakness.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm. It truly is. You know, that is something that I want us to really, really. It's a message that I would love to send out to persons out there. Ask for help, get help, because I myself knows what it is like to just keep pushing things aside, sweeping it under the carpet, and pushing forward. You know, I have to push forward, I have to push. And later on, it comes up, and it does not come up in a good way at all. And you do have to confront it, and then you don't even know how to confront that. I'm telling you, I have been going to see. I have been doing counseling, and I go to the counselors, and I don't know they asking me. So how you feel about this? So and it's like I don't know. I really and truly do not know. And the reason that I ended up with suffering with psychotic depression and having so much breakdowns in the last couple of years is because I chose not to get help at when I really needed the help, you know. But I too could testify that I know what it is to be a lone ranger. It's funny because I was popular. And our family, I come from a popular family. My family was always around. Yet I was a lone ranger in the sense that the people around me didn't think like I thought. And so that even though there was always persons around, it's like I did not connect with people. You know, I was in a busy place, but alone. And I remember when I recognized that, hey, you have children to see about. I didn't have the will to live. You have to do something. I reached out. I reached out to someone who I believe could help me. And listen, it took literally over a year to get that person to pay any attention to me. I called and I called, and it was an evangelist, and I showed up at his programs, and he maybe was saying that I was some crazy lunatic because some stalker or some kind of thing, because I would always show up and I would always call. And eventually he decided, well, look, you know, you've been pushing, let me see what you really want. And he became the person over the years that I can call and I can talk to. Like something excited happened, you know, I can call and I can say this exact, or I feel down and I know that I can call, and a smile would cross my face one time because he's going to say something or do something that is going to uplift my spirit. And to me, as Evangelist Lennon Robley, I call his name because he have been the wind beneath my wings, saying to me, listen, you're more than you think you are. You're important. Push forward. Push forward. And he has been really an instrument in me being alive today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's good stuff.
So what's your stuff? Don't let's go silent. I saw you taking notes, Kola. Yes, let's.
I'm always taking notes. I believe that you can learn from every single person you meet because we all have a different stories. Now I heard all three of you speaking, and there's a lot of things that we have in common. A lot of us were people thought that we are okay because we looked that way, because we never asked that there is something wrong, that we need help, because we were the ones that were helping, but there was no one for us to help us because we didn't ask for help, not because there was no help. We didn't ask first.
True.
And I believe you have to become totally vulnerable, sorry, and surrender. That's all you have to do.
Yes.
Whether you surrender to God or to universe or to higher force, whatever you believe for yourself is the best, that will lead you. That will bring people that might help you, that will help you, and that will help you with love, because usually people who help you, they went through the similar stuff as you, so they know what it takes to ask for help or to overcome what you are overcoming.
You've got to believe that you are worthwhile, that you are important, that you are worth fighting for. Have to believe that, because we stop and we think about all kinds of things, what people will say about me, how it would look. This one will talk, that one will talk. And we have said it so much already for the night. Our stories connect. A lot of us are going through the same thing. We are. And so, what is the point of me hiding my story when I can seek help or help someone else? It really, it does not make sense, really, when you think about it.
I also think that sharing your story, though, takes away the shame. It takes away you feeling like you are alone, because then when you share, you discover that there were other people. And I think, which is why, I wrote my book and I continue to write, because I find that I'm not alone. And there are people who are just like us, the lone soldier. I used to be called the black sheep of the family. I'm the oldest. I was the black sheep of the family because I didn't comply. I didn't. I wasn't like everybody. I was the rebel, and
I'm the oldest.
right. So
so am I. Isn't that interesting?
See? And it's like, as the oldest, everything is upon you, and everything you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. And so I took on that with everybody, not just my family, but with friends and things like that. Like Joseph said, so I was always there for somebody else. But when people say, "How you doing?" I'll go, "I'm good. I'm fine." When that wasn't the truth. I really wasn't good. I wasn't fine. But I thought that was a sign of weakness. Like Portia said, asking for help isn't weak. But I thought that it was weak. And until it came crashing down one day, and I had no choice but to get help. And sometimes when all the balls fall, you have no choice now but to get some help.
To surrender.
Surrender. Yep.
Yes.
To surrender. And it's quite interesting. We can all relate to each other's story. But I think the question is, do we think we are the support, or is it because we are not asking for help? Because if we don't ask for help, how is anybody going to know what it is we actually need? Because we present ourselves as though we don't need help. And have you ever tried helping somebody and they tell you they don't need help, or they look as though they need help? You try to help them and they tell you they don't need help. So sometimes it's all about asking, and you'll be surprised that when you ask, the kind of help that would come pouring in would overwhelm you. So
Mm-hmm.
we should also learn to ask for help. I know sometimes it's difficult if you are not used to doing it, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe start one at a time, because we all do need each other.
Yes.
We
And
are
Portia,
branches from the same tree, as Mr. Brown is saying. Absolutely. Look at us. We are spread all over the world, but we still share
mm-hmm.
And yet
everything in common. We're
we are able to
all the
come
same.
together.
We're all the same. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry, Beverly. You want to say something?
No, I was saying that Portia, she was talking about, also looking out for those who need help. I remember I am a praise and worship leader. And one thing that I always do is when I go up there and I minister, I pay attention to everybody in the congregation.
That's
And
good.
if I think that someone looks depressed or as if something is wrong, I go to them one side, and take them one side. Hey, everything is okay. Sometimes people don't want to talk about it. They don't trust you enough. They don't know how to. But just the idea of you being able to come and say, hey, everything is okay, will make something okay. Because
And,
they know then they have someone who is there looking out, someone who is supporting.
Mhm.
and eventually, when they get comfortable, they know who to go to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Since I have been doing praise and worship, I have helped a whole lot of people, a whole lot of people. And I just laugh because, again, Kola, we're back at that place where I helped a lot of people. Persons knew me as the powerhouse. There's a woman of strength who is able to, encourage and strengthen. And I fell apart and nobody knew I was falling apart. I myself didn't know I was falling apart. I know I started with forgetting. So I know I was forgetting and I couldn't understand why I was forgetting so much. And I got so bad, I was on the job and we have the $50 bill. A customer gave me a $50 bill and I'm supposed to give them back change. I sat there looking at it, wondering what was in my hand. Okay, I heard them say $50 bill. What is it? What am I supposed to be doing with it? And I couldn't figure out for the life of me what was in my hand. My coworker had to come and say, okay, this is scripted, this is what you have to do, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And many times, because she recognized what was going on, she had to help me out a lot of times. I would sit down, I am supposed to be counting up the money in the register. I would sit there. What am I doing here? I'm trying to figure out what am I doing here? And I just sit there. And she would come, oh, you're supposed to be counting the money. Again, what a wonderful thing when you have people who are around you who would understand and support you. She just saw me sitting there. She just understood what I was going through for the last couple of days, maybe a week or two. And she just came in all the time with, listen, you're supposed to be doing this. This is what this. And I was around so many different persons. And nobody recognized, not even me, that is a breakdown I was getting. I had a full-blown breakdown. And I had things together so much that I was actually literally going through it. Those things that you see in a movie where the police passing and you think that the police is after you and people after you and you're hearing people saying things, throwing things for you and all these things, all of that taking place. And going through my day as if nothing was taking place and nobody around me knew what was taking place. And finally, when I hit bottom, I had a support system that was also there. My family have always been the wind beneath my wings. And they were there to encourage. They were there. I ended up in the hospital. At that point in time, my sister is a doctor, and she, thank God, worked on the psychiatric ward, and they worked it out in such a way that I did not have to go on the ward because I had just gone through a custody hearing with my children. I had just gotten custody for them. Two things I'm saying this to say: the importance of having a great support system. It is very, very important. Persons who can see that things are not okay and they can work with you to make it okay. And the importance of getting help. The importance of not thinking that you always have to put on this strong, brave face. The importance of talking to somebody. Talk to somebody. You know, some of us will say, oh, I talk to God. Even God will tell you, talk to somebody. One of the favorite shows that I love to watch is Divorce Court. And I just love Lynn Toller. I love to watch it not because it's people getting divorced. I love to watch it because you are able to see things that people go through, and she gives some really, really lovely advice. And one thing she always says is, listen, I have my psychiatrist on speed dial because I know not everything ticking right. It is
I think Beverly froze.
Yeah, I'd say she blew the connection of the internet with the amount of energy she was putting in.
But this pandemic alone has shown us how important support systems even are.
Yeah.
And I will say during this pandemic, what bothered me most, or the ones I actually felt for, were our seniors. And I say that because they are actually accustomed to, well, they were the most vulnerable. So they were not, I shouldn't say they weren't allowed to be there. It wasn't okay for them to be there because of their vulnerability. Now, I say this to say that at least we, the younger ones who are savvy, are able to get online, are able to get on Zoom calls, are able to do video calls. Most of them are unable to do that. I was talking to a friend and I asked her if she'd seen her mom. And she told me that she's able to call her, but she's unable to see her. So I'm like, why don't you do a video call? She said her mother's phone doesn't have the capability because she'll be unable to use it. Now, this is an example of, at least if she was able to, or if she's able to see her mom, I'm sure it would sort of bring some closeness. It won't be the same, but it will bring some closeness because obviously trying to protect her mom, she doesn't go to her mom as often as she would love to. And on this day, she was telling me it was her birthday, which normally I know she would have been there. And unfortunately, she wasn't able to be there. So it's quite difficult. Or this pandemic has proven how important support systems are and what they can do for us. And when they are taken away, the detriment of it.
yes.
Absolutely agree with you, Portia. I'm in a lockdown for nearly 9 months inside of my apartment working from home because I can, right? But there are people who can't, and they either have to go to work or There are people in age of our parents. I have mother in the late 60s as well. Thank God we have taught her over the last 10 or 12 years how to use the stuff. She might be better in some cases than I am with the electronic devices and computer. But psychological part of this pandemic all over the world is the hardest part. Because whoever can recover from the virus itself, it's fine. Whoever can, I'm sorry, we can't do anything with it about it. But the worst case is when you are locked inside of the apartment, you're alone, but you're lonely. Alone isn't the worst part, being lonely is the worst part. So I think we have to do something with this, however we can, even this way, to speak to people, ask for help, reach out. Let's teach our parents how to use the computer whatever way we can. Where is a will, there is a way. We have to find some way to support them. They've been there for us our whole life, so it's our turn. And it doesn't matter if it's your family or not, even if it's a person that you know, or if it's your neighbor, or you can reach to whoever you have around and you know there is alone and might need some help, or just ask if he does need some help, or talk to them over a window. He doesn't have to open window. You can go out if you have to stay inside. Yeah, at least, as you said, Portia, to see the face, to see the interaction, to see the connection. Yeah, even I'm young. I have realized that 2 months ago, before I shut down all the news, what it is doing with mind of people. I can say that my psychological system is pretty strong because of the coachings that I've done over the last years. But only when I shut down the news, I saw what it is doing to people. And if they're alone, lonely, watching news, that's horror.
And
This
it
is
keeps
our
compounding.
Yes, this is our spiritual responsibility to show them that there is other way, there is a better way.
Yes.
And to
become
reach out.
Yes, yes,
to become the wind beneath somebody else's wings.
absolutely.
Yes. We have had it in our lives, and now it's time for us to pour it out into someone else's life. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I said that is so true. So much has been poured into our lives, and when we can and when we are able, we should also reach out to those who may need us.
Yeah, I believe for me that we have to, or I have to. It's not whether I want to or I don't. It's my responsibility to help other person. We are the same species. It doesn't matter where we are from or where we are living. It's not important. If you look back over your life and really go back year by year by year by year, count how many people have helped you in your life to get wherever you are at the moment.
We wouldn't be.
Yeah, it's giving back. If it's not paying forward, it's just giving back. I think the world has gone prior to this pandemic time too much into financial stuff. Everything was about money. Everything was about running and racing and just gaining material stuff. This is something that has to teach us as well that we have to get back to basics on being human. That's what we are.
Yes.
The basics are always the core.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if you're hearing, but rain has just come down. I hope that it's not making too much of feedback in our program. But even right now, as a single mother who is going through divorce, a lot of women are sitting down and accepting so much, so much. And when you talk to a lot of them, they don't understand the effects of emotional abuse, which is very, very high today. And so being able to come together as a group of women who've been through, who have become victorious, and say, you know what? I can start a group to reach out to women to strengthen them, to let them know that sometimes the decisions that we have to make are hard ones. But hey, here's the support that you need. Here's the support that we're willing to give you to help you to just rise up and see yourself as enough. Yeah.
You are enough. Whoever is watching, you are enough.
Yes.
Wherever you are, with whatever you have at the moment, even if you have nothing, you have enough as you are. You are enough as you are.
I agree with that.
So even in this COVID time, it is our choice to become the wind. I have to keep saying the wind beneath us because it is what tonight is about, right? It's up to us to become that wind beneath someone else's wind. We have that choice now because I'm telling you, I am so heartbroken for those persons who have had loss during COVID time, those
Oh,
persons who died from COVID, those persons who have had any kind of devastating situation come out of COVID. But I'm going to say for me, I was truly, truly blessed during COVID time. And I was blessed because people like Les Brown and John Talarico and Winnie and Ify and Precious, Christine, and I could continue. We have 3 on tonight: Sandra, Portia, Joe. This was 2020 was indeed my best year in a long time. And that only happened because in 2020, I was able to be adopted into a great, awesome support system.
It's all down to focus, to what you focus on. Where your energy goes, where your attention goes, that's where you're going to go. Yes, some of us are blessed that COVID hasn't affected us. I went through COVID and I have recovered, thank God. But in my family, no one had it. But I want to say there are many health conditions in the world. Let's not forget about that. COVID isn't the only one. There are people that are going through cancer, through multiple sclerosis, through other hundreds of illnesses, and this applies to every single person on earth. It's not only about COVID. This is building our strength system, our mental system, our emotional intelligence to get through whatever.
Yes, up to the other day, I was listening to Les Brown when he spoke, and he was talking about this friend I had who got cancer, and he was feeling so out of it and so down on it. And Les Brown was the one who said, "Listen, I know you better than that. Rise up. You could beat this thing, man. You can beat this thing." And that is the difference of having persons in your space that would, boy, sorry, yes, that is it. Sometimes you come, sometimes you go. That's life, you know. It makes a total difference. You know, the Bible says, "Don't be fooled. Corrupt company will corrupt you." So the same way corrupt company will corrupt you. Having an awesome support group that is able to say, you can, and you will, you know, just like one day, Portia knows she would just jump up and say, "Yes, tonight I'm the host of Real Talk."
Who
Right?
we surround ourselves with is extremely important.
Yes.
You'll be surprised what you can do when you have a support system, because we all bring something different to the table. Just as our
Yes.
fingers are not the same, so are we not. we all have something special, regardless of how we feel or how we think or who we think we are.
Mm-hmm.
We all do offer something. So we also need to surround ourselves with like-minded people and then attract the people we want and the kind of life we want to live into our lives. I think that's also extremely important. And building that
Yes.
support system even before we need it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think too, one of the things you have to do is also trust yourself, because at the end of the day, what I've learned about myself is that when I say, well, I don't trust her, I don't trust him, well, I'm saying I don't trust me. And so you got to learn to trust yourself and trust the decision that you make, because in that moment it may have been the right decision or the right person. You know, people come into your life for a season, and when that season is up, they may leave and somebody else may come along. And so I've had to learn to trust that I made the right choice. And if something happened with that relationship, then I've learned to say to myself, okay, what was my role in it? Because they still came to teach me something. They supported me the best way that they knew how, but they came to teach me something. I remember watching Oprah one day, and she had TD Jakes on there, and this lady said, you know, what happens if you're the person in your family whose mindset has changed and you're looking for them to support you, but they can't, and she was crying because she felt like, I'm here helping them, they're not helping me. And he said something so profound. He said, when you're the gallon, right, they're a pint. A pint, that's their capacity. So understand the capacity of the person who is supporting you.
They can only do so much.
That's all that they can give. That's all that they can give.
Yes.
And you have to know that and see that some people may not be able to be that gallon and give you all of this. They only can give. So you might have to go out and find yourself some gallons, or 2 gallons, but whatever. You're going to have to go out and
find a few pints.
Yes.
Yes.
Find a few pints to make
up the gallon. Yes, but find something.
There you go. Exactly. Yes. And that was just so profound to me, because I'm going, oh yeah, just realize that people can give what they can give. And then you might have to be like, okay, like you just said, I might have to put a bunch of pints together, or if you're the biggest fish in the pond, go find another pond.
We can only work with the knowledge we have.
Yes. Because what happens, what happens when we sit down with persons that don't quite get us and we stay there, is that we get bitter. And we start gossiping about the persons, and we start looking them, cross-eye, cut-eye, all kind of eyes. And we just have to know that they are who they are. You cannot make somebody into who you are.
Right.
It is up to you to know that you are more than enough. That you could go out and get what you need.
And you're going to also attract. You're going to attract who you are.
Yes.
That's the other thing.
But it takes the realization of that. You have to realize that to be able to do that.
Yes. I've been told very, very smart words a long time ago when I was dealing with a situation like that. I got a very quick response from one very smart man, and it was, why are you trying to explain a child in a kindergarten, a university stuff? He won't understand it.
Wow.
Many times we are trying to help people who, it's not that they're not getting it because they are not able to. They're not in the level, in the process. They might be in the beginning where we were 10 or 15 years ago, and there's nothing wrong with that. We went through that. So we have to just either give them as much as we can up to their capacity of understanding. If there is a person helping us and this is their capacity, thank you very much with kind heart. and move on to a person that has a bigger gallon, as T.G. Jake said. As Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
When you know better, you do better. But don't quit though, because I think that's what
Yeah.
happens.
No.
People
Sorry, what's
get
that word?
just don't quit.
That's not in my vocabulary. I don't understand that. Mi no
Okay,
speak
Joe.
americano.
Oh, you couldn't hear me. Too much static, Joseph. Okay, the listening audience, don't give up. I mean, just
Yeah.
keep going because the people are there. That's right. Change the vocabulary. It's not even in my words. I don't say that anymore either. I just keep moving along.
Yeah,
And
but
I
you know,
really make
Sandra,
it open.
that's the beauty on any dictionary vocabulary, whatever we use. Just scribble that word out. You know, we don't have to use it.
It shouldn't exist, right?
Yeah,
Right.
it doesn't. Who decides if it's going to exist? I will decide if it's going to exist for me or not. It's possible. Everything is possible.
Yes.
You will
Ladies,
be
I really
surprised
enjoyed
what
this
is
conversation.
possible.
Yeah, we will truly be surprised.
Sorry,
I'm
Portia.
telling you.
I said
No,
you'll be
I
surprised what is possible.
Everything.
Yes. Everything. I
yes,
believe that
nothing is
now. You couldn't have told me
impossible.
that 15 years ago, but now it's like I know that for
Oh
sure.
yes, oh yes, oh
Yes,
yes, oh yes. I see
yes,
a resounding yes.
Yeah, but you see, we all had to go through that 15-year process to understand it.
That
But
is
yet,
true.
when we are trying to help people, that was my problem for many years. I was trying too hard to help people without even them asking for help because I saw what's coming through my own experience.
yes, yes. And
It
I
takes
have,
coming to their level to understand where they are.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know
yes,
what? Eventually they do get there, and then when they get there, they will come to you.
It's the same thing as our own mothers were telling us when we were 15 or 17 or 50, yeah, whatever, mom, I know better. And then in 30 or the late 30s, you know, she was right. You know, mom, you
Yes.
were right. It's the same principle.
Sometimes they have to
yes,
leave us alone because no matter what you tell someone, they have to actually experience it, unfortunately, to understand
Yeah.
what it is you were trying
unfortunately,
to put across.
yes, yes. For some reason, we love to burn to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, all of us here on this call, we all have children, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we all know it doesn't matter how many times you will tell your child, don't go to that stove because you're going to burn your finger.
Mm.
He or she will do it anyway until it happens. So we're all the same. We have to hit the ground with our face to understand it.
I
So
was
let
telling
everybody experience it.
Yes.
Yes.
That's funny. Yeah, my mother
But
told me, she said, wait till you have kids. You just wait. And she was so right.
Yeah.
and you never understood it then, right?
she
Right.
say, if you think you were something, your
Yeah.
children will be 6 times you.
Yeah. She did not tell a lie.
No.
Mm-mm.
At all, at all. But you know, Joseph said something that I had to come to terms with within the last 2 years. And that is, person has to seek help for themselves. You know, we like to shove things on people, think that even in relationships, we get in relationship with someone and we're trying to change them. And we as a woman, oh boy, we love to do that. We love to marry or get into relationships with a project. I am seeing so much potential in this guy here right now. I am
And I
not
want to
worried about
transform
the
him.
thing because I'm going to work on that. I know I have the ability to work on that and change that. You know? And you know what? We just get frustrated because no matter how much you work, when men decide this is who I am, this is who they are, that is who they are. And
But
and I recognize that, you know, we do have to, we have, the important thing is working on yourself and surrounding yourself with persons who wants to push forward, wants to live a purpose-driven life. Because what you could find yourself as doing is is really exhausting yourself over persons who really don't want the help. And when you turn around, you are totally empty and you have nothing to give, not to yourself, not to the persons around. You know, I can remember when I was in my marriage, my husband and I was together, there were times I would start saying, you know, I just cook for you, I just clean for you, I just do all this, and I just need you to do so. And I started counting out all the things that I just do. And one day I sat down and I realized, you know, from the time you start counting what you do, you kind of actually takes away from the fact that you're doing it out of love. It comes now like, okay, it's just duty. I'm doing it because I have to do it. I'm doing it is because of duty. And one of the reasons why, yes, and one of the reasons why I did that, because a lot of times I was doing it from an empty place. I was just exhausted with so much on my plate. And I learned that, listen, you gotta make sure that you pour into yourself. You have to make sure that whatever is in your space, whoever is in your space must be pouring into you, because regardless to the fact that you are doing so much for others, it would never bring the result that you would like it to bring, because you guess what? Portia, if you tell me you're thirsty and I hand you an empty cup, don't matter how much I say drink, there's nothing for you to drink. You will continue to be thirsty. It's the same thing when we give in from an empty place. Don't matter how much we give, don't matter how much we help, don't matter how much, it does not give the results that we are hoping for, because we are giving it from an empty place. It did not, the things that we're doing, it's not even showing in our life that these things work for us and put us in a better place. It's not even showing that. And so that our main duty is to make sure that we address ourselves and that we are filled, so that persons could be taken from our overflow.
That is so true. You can pour out of an empty cup. So you have to fill your cup before you're able to even help anyone else, and to understand the kind of help people actually need from you or want from you.
Excuse me, my laptop is dying, so I'm trying to get it plugged in if you see me fidgeting.
No, right, go ahead.
All right. Yes, so my nephew just came and helped me. Yes.
Yeah, and so, I think too, you have to learn how to, when you're pouring from an empty cup, allow somebody to help you. I mean, you know, because I think that we forget, you know, that we're pouring from this cup, a cup that's empty, and people are still putting their hands in that cup and there's nothing coming out of it. But at the same time, we're still telling people, no, I'm good, and you're not. And so I've had to learn, you know, when people check on me, that it's okay, because maybe they're sensing something and they know that I need some help. And I do need help because I'm trying to replenish now. And so, and it's also okay to say no when you're trying to replenish, and allow somebody else to take care of it, because we don't know how to say no. We say yes to so many things because we think we have to. And at the end of the day, it really is okay to say, you know what, not today. I'm replenishing, I'm resting, and things like that. I've had to allow my husband, because I was so independent, you know, and doing things on my own, that even when I got married and he would try to help me, I didn't know how to receive it. I didn't know how to receive the help. And I had to learn how to receive the help. And I had to figure out, well, why is it that you're not receiving, or even ask him for help? Because I think the fear of asking was the rejection. You know, you get rejected. Sometimes when you ask people, we all have, I know I have dealt with rejection. You don't want to deal with that. And so he has taught me, and, you know, we've been married, you know, 16 years and together 20. he has taught, and it's been really good, but I've had to learn.
Congrats.
He's taught me how to be open, how to ask for help, and know, and don't be afraid that you're not going to get it, because you're already putting the energy out there that is not going to happen. So I had to learn how not to put that energy out there, and know that it's okay. It's okay to receive it. It's okay to ask. And he has really been the wind beneath my wings these last 15 to 20 years. It has really been him, because he has taught me, how to really be okay with asking for help and not be afraid. And when I do ask, I'm always amazed that people say yes. And I don't know why I still am, but sometimes I'm still amazed. Well, sure, why not? And I'm going, Sandra, stop being amazed. This is how this is how it should be, right? So yeah,
Right.
so I've had to learn. He has really taught
Yes.
me. So he has really been that major wind beneath my wings in terms of everything. Even with me being a full-time entrepreneur, he has been the wind beneath my wings, making sure that I'm good and that I don't have to worry about anything, and I can focus on what I need to focus on. Really, it's just, so I've learned from him. So sometimes others will come to teach you how to do that, and you have to be open and allow them to show you how to ask, and that it's okay
Yes.
to be okay with asking. So yeah, he's taught me a lot.
Yes. And so we have passed a little over the hour. And I try to keep it within the hour because it's easier for our viewers to keep up with us. This is something that I would have liked to start the forum with today, saying, but I was waiting on permission. Last week, I announced that Christine had her unfortunate death in her family. And today, the lovely Precious was supposed to be on with us today. And she was unable to do it because she too had a death in her family. And we want to say our condolences goes out to you, Precious. No, I had to get her permission first to know that I can air it. And she not too long gave me the permission. So I did miss you on this program because unscripted voice was really a wind beneath my wings with you, and Iffy was able to, open up a way for me to be able to get a mentor. And for me to be able to put myself out there, and go there and just enjoy myself. As I celebrate tonight, it's good to just enjoy yourself, be able to laugh at yourself. And sit down, oh my God, did I do that? Did I say that? And just enjoy it. I enjoyed having you all on the program tonight. I truly, truly did. And to end off, I would say you all are the wind beneath my wings right now. I wouldn't be able to have a discussion by myself. And my story alone will not have the impact as having the three of you with me here tonight will have. And us as a group here, we are developing our motivational speaking. We are learning from each other. We are helping each other in so many different areas that even this moment, we are proving that it is important to have a support system, one that has individuals who can help us to pursue our purpose and to rise above. We call it also networking. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. We were really happy to be on board with you tonight, and see you next.
It froze again in the worst time.
since the current came back, my internet has been giving trouble. So sorry about
It's
that.
okay. It's
But
okay.
Sandra, what's the last few words that you want to say?
I just want to say, just remember that you are enough. You are enough. You have everything you need. You came here with everything you already need. Just tap in, and if you're unsure, ask for help. Just reach out and ask for help.
Portia?
All right. Support system comes in all shapes, forms, and sizes. It could be emotionally, physically, it could be mentally, it could be financially, it could be spiritually. But whatever it is you feel or you think you need help with, reach out and then ask. There's someone out there waiting and ready to help you. But if you don't ask, you won't get that help.
True.
Let's also learn to build the support system before we need it. So we are able to pour, or we are able to receive from the cup.
Mhm.
And let's
Yes.
not forget to ask for help. It is strength and not weakness.
Nicely said, Portia. Joe, the king between the queens.
The queens.
Yes.
I know that there are people, even if there is only one person who is hiding and is maybe ashamed to ask for help. I want you to look at those 4 people that you see on a screen. Every single one of us been there, hiding, not asking, felt not worthy of reaching out and asking. Look, if we could have done it, if we could have stepped up and asked for help, you can do it too. It doesn't take that much. Just ask, reach out. You have people around you. If you don't, find a group support system in the internet. People won't judge you because they went through the same stuff as you are going through now. It doesn't matter what it is, whether you are a single parent, man or woman, doesn't matter. I'm a single parent too. Whether you're going through divorce, through bankruptcy, through whatever problem, there's 7.5 billion people around the world going through the same stuff as you are. And don't take yourself too serious. Have some fun.
Have some fun.
Some fun. Exactly.
Have some fun indeed, it's true.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it.
Oh, pink is nice on you. Pink is nice on you.
The world is through the pink glasses, you know?
I hear you. So that's when you are in a place and you can become a support system to someone, do so. And you do not have to wait until things are perfect with you. I remember one day I was there and I was like, God, I just feeling for somebody to hold me right now, Why can't I have people when I need people? And he said to me, you have 2 hands. I promise you, if you stretch it out to someone, they would stretch it back out to you. Sometimes the way to get support is by supporting others, not neglecting yourself, but you really can support yourself by supporting others. I have found that you, with helping persons, you start talking some things that you didn't even know was inside of you. You had absolutely no idea that you knew what you knew. And that was the same thing that you needed to solve your problem. You can become a solution to your own problem by becoming the solution to someone else's problem. Let's all be the wind beneath someone's wings. And never ever forget to give gratitude. Gratitude is a must. Don't forget the persons who have been that support system for you throughout your life. Good night, everyone. Do have a blessed night. It was a pleasure.
Nice.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for having us.